Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. I'm very grateful to my friend and colleague Dr Allen for securing tonight's members' debate to celebrate everything that is fantastic and great about Scotland's food and drink industry, and of course to shine a light on all the fabulous local produce in our own constituencies. And in West Lothian, the food and drink industry supports 2,500 jobs associated with 60 companies. And I'm very pleased to say that I have on more than one occasion seen Dr Allen and other colleagues from across the political divide tuck into Hornick's haggis from West Calder in the Scottish Parliament canteen. And can I say to Dr Allen, some of the best homemade grub that I've ever tasted was in the Decker, a bed and breakfast in his constituency in Lewis, which I think makes the point about the connectivity between food and drink and our tourism sector. Now, I want to share with the Chamber, Presiding Officer, something that they were perhaps not aware of regarding my constituency. We quite rightly have a big focus on whisky. Glenmorangie and Glenturner have large bases in West Lothian, but there is also a rum distillery in Bell's Quarry near Livingston where artisan golden and spiced rum is produced, and it's very much inspired by East Africa in terms of its flavours and smells. And this is Matuga rum, which can be bought in Scotland or online. And I am very pleased to be able to congratulate Jacine Rutasika, who, along with her husband, founded Matuga Run. Jacine is one of the finalists at next week's Women in Enterprise Awards in the Startup of the Year category, and I wish Jacine well in that awards ceremony. Like others, I very much welcome the commitment to a Good Food Nation bill. We do very much need a joined-up approach to food and food policy to ensure that more of Scotland's larder ends up on our plates, that we do more to support this key growth sector of our economy, both in terms of exports and protecting and growing local jobs. But this industry also makes a contribution to tackling both hunger and obesity in today's Scotland. And given that Youngs and McRae's is also in my constituency, I should of course associate myself with any encouragement to get folk to eat more fish. Now, I very much support the government's efforts to end multi-buys in terms of food that has low or no nutritional value, but I do want to ensure that all of the proposals in the government's Health Eating Action Plan are evidence-based and don't disproportionately impact on Scottish SMEs. Partridge in my constituency, recently bought over by Burton's Biscuits, produce the #1 best tasting shortbread in the UK. They're a very innovative and ethical company, and they rely on promotions in supermarkets and free samples to boost sales of shortbread, particularly at certain times of the year, Hogmanay and Christmas being the most obvious example. Now, I'm not pretending that shortbread is anything other than a treat, but it has 17% sugar compared to 52% sugar in a Kit Kat. And where my concern is that the large confectionaries will continue to advertise, and of course the regulation around this is reserved, yet with our powers we may inadvertently affect those smaller Scottish-based companies. I know Mr Ewing is aware of this issue. He's been very generous with his time and has visited Partridge, and the Public Health Minister has also been kind enough to meet me to discuss this matter further as well. And my very final point or sentence, Presiding Officer, is I'm very much in support of the desire to enshrine the right to food in Scots law. We have to end hunger in 21st century Scotland. I accept that it's comparatively easy to legislate, but the real thought and the real challenge is actually putting legislation into practice where we ensure that Wains in Scotland don't go hungry. Thank you.
Thank you.